Charity Kahn is a recording artist, mother, and teacher, and band leader of Charity and the Jam Band and the Invisible Bee. And she has released an album, and she's going to talk to us about it and probably play from it too, right, Charity? Awesome. Take it away.
Thank you, Sailesh. Hi, everybody. So it's interesting to follow on the heels of what was just being spoken of. How do we hold all that in our hearts? What Sailesh was reporting about, the 2026 species extinction. And I'm just, the phrase that you just said, that we need to take drastic and frantic action is really resonating with me right now. And what I wanted to share with you today, in the face of we need to take drastic and frantic action, I think sometimes it might seem, why are we talking about art? Why are we talking about music? Why are we talking about these more frivolous things when the world is burning? And my encouragement to everyone today, and I'll be showing some examples of how this has worked for me as a climate activist and a vegan and an animal liberation activist. In order for me to stay active and stay engaged and stay sane-ish and aware and awake and be able to keep compassion at the front of my actions, for me, creativity has been a healer and a salve and a place to channel a lot of that grief and anger and frustration and overwhelm and nihilism or potential nihilism. So I kind of want to talk about just this as a practice to support our activism. So for me, I'm a musician, singer, songwriter, recording artist, performer. I do some visual art. So that tends to be, that's my medium of expression. But I know that everyone on this call, and my belief is every person, every human being in the world has an artistic heart, and there's some form of creativity that is yours and yours alone. And it's possible to channel that and practice that in order to both help us psychologically through this time period that we're living, and as an offering to others for their process. Art has the capacity to take us into that liminal space, that emotional space, that mysterious space where the heart opens, and sometimes messages that aren't able to get through intellectually, cognitively, executive function wise. We receive messages from outside and inside when we're in this space of art, whether we're observing and receiving it or whether we're creating it. And so this is just an encouragement partly to think about, are there ways to access that in your own life? I wanted to show a little example of something I saw the other day. I was at a vegan restaurant, and it's an amazing vegan restaurant called O Burrito in Coimbra in Portugal. Maybe some of you have been there. They have the best burritos ever. And let me just share my screen for a minute, because I was sitting at the table and I just looked up at the wall next to me and saw this drawing. And somebody had just created this, obviously somebody who has skill with drawing or just loves to draw. And they just created this little picture of adorable animals, celebrating and hanging out, and taped it to the wall. And to me, this is exactly what I'm talking about, is use your love, your compassion, your inspiration, your talent, your hobby to create, and then put it out there in the world. And that way we're all contributing to this movement in a way that is in addition to the science and the activism and all these other important layers, the advocating, the legislation. So I'm guessing there is at least, half of you out there could sit down and draw something just as adorable as this and hang it on a wall somewhere. And who knows who might be inspired by it. So that's one thing. And then I just wanted to share with you some examples of how I, as an artist myself, have taken my vegan passion, my climate, my care for the climate, and that passion, and turned it into music, and then collaborated with other artists to make videos that might have some effect somewhere in the world. And this is another thing I've learned as an activist, which I'm sure a lot of you have connected with this teaching as well, which is to let go of attachment to outcome, right? So I make this music, I make the videos, I put it out there in the world. I hope people hear it. I hope it inspires them to change and shift and eat differently and behave differently. That's my hope, my intention, but I don't know, and I can't force it, and I can let go of that. So there's also just an aspect of the kind of offering of art that has a very freeing and psychologically healing effect on the mind and the heart, is this put it out there and let go of the outcome. Because we don't know what's going to happen. And as Sailesh was just saying, he's living in the space of, we're going to have a vegan world. So we don't know, but we can have that intention in our heart, and we can create activism and art to support that. So I think I'll just start out with a song from, so I recently released, I have 9 children's albums. I create music both for children and for grownups. My kids' music is really joyful and exuberant and fun and dancey and festive. And then my adult music is where I put sort of my more pain and grief and some of my, activism energy. But my last kids album, I decided to really go for it and write an entire album of vegan songs for kids. So here is the cover, just so to give you a sense. And I'm wondering if you can see the cover. There it is. So it was a labor of love. It was a challenge because I really wanted to get messages across to children and parents and educators and really any human being who's open. But I wanted to do it in a way that felt inclusive and non-judgmental. And also, since children are, kind of the target audience, in a way that didn't feel scary or like making this feel like an impossible task. I wanted it to feel welcoming and warm and loving and all that. So let's just start out with a little listen. And I want to invite you to, if you have been sitting for a long period of time, please feel free to get up and move your body. The screens are off, so no one's going to see you. What's the phrase? Dance like nobody's looking. I'm just going to share my computer audio and go to Spotify and play the first song from the album, which is called We Love Animals. So you'll get a feel here for how I'm trying to teach and share, but in a joyful energy to sort of inspire.
Oh, if you care about animals and you love them and adore them and you want to be kind, don't eat them anymore. You can get all your protein and nutrients from plants and you feel so good. You want to sing and shout and dance. We love animals, so we eat plants instead. We love animals, it's kind and we want to spread it. You can make plants into any kind of food, even milk, cheese, butter, eggs, and meat. substitutes. So your favorite meals don't have to disappear. You just learn how to make them from a recipe, my dear. We love animals, so we eat plants instead. We love animals, it's kind, and we want to spread it. We eat grains, beans, and legumes. We eat a plant-based seitan and tofu. We eat so many vegetables, so many fruits. We eat nuts, seeds, herbs, and spices too. But may we all remember to say thank you for this incredible abundance of plant food. Oh, it puts me in a really super awesome good mood. Let's do the plant dance to the plant groove. For the land, sea, air, and climate. So next time you're wondering what to put on your plate, choose peace, not harm, choose love. Don't wait. Does this resonate? Hey, let's celebrate. We love animals, so we eat plants instead. We love animals, from our toes up to our heads. We love animals, it's kind, and we're gonna spread it. We love animals, so we eat plants instead.
So I hope some of you got your wiggles out and danced. So that's just an example of, as an artist and an activist and somebody who deeply cares about the future of this planet and the animals and the children and all the beings, I have to channel that anxiety somewhere, you know? And so if you have an art form or even a hobby, just please start writing music, start singing, start sharing it with your friends. And that's just that's the first song on the album. There's 14 songs. I go into all sorts of topics. So you can check that out later. I'm not going to obviously play the whole album today. It's called The Vegan Album, and the artist is Charity and the Jam Band. And I can put it in the chat, or somebody can put it in the chat for me too. So I talk about issues like speciesism as well. I introduce that to kids. I talk about climate change, and I also make things silly. I have a song called Making Cookies from Plants, and it's just kind of a crazy, wild dance song. So using the deep ethical, drive to change the world and channeling that through art, maybe it changes some people's minds. They go vegan, they change their ways. But at the very least, it keeps me going so that I can continue to be an activist. It brings me joy. And that, I think, is something that gets lost in this movement, is we have to not only care for ourselves, like there's a big thing about self-care, right? How to take care of ourselves, get them, the massage, do all that. We need to experience joy to balance out the grief. There is Joanna Macy, I'm sure a lot of you know of her teachings, where she talks about, first, we ground in our grief, actually. We allow ourselves to experience that. We feel it. Probably a lot of you have had that experience of coming to grips with what's really happening and having some really hard weeks, months, years. And then we also experience our gratitude for what is here and what we have had and what is possible. So we kind of balance out this grief with this gratitude and this joy. And in that place, we can wake up and we can move forward and we can continue to act. So I want to show you another example of how this manifested for me in the real world. In the album that I created just before the vegan album was called Creatures and Critters. And I'll just show you the album cover for that, because I'm showing you the album covers because this is another example of using art to express myself. So I, go on the computer and draw and illustrator, and I get to create a little artwork of cute animals. It makes me feel better. And on this album, which was all about animals and caring for animals, I rewrote the children's. If you're from the United States, you know the children's song, the ancient children's song, "Old MacDonald Had a Farm." And as a vegan, that's a hard song for me, right? And I'm sure for you. And I thought, why not reframe that? Let's rewrite the song and make it about a sanctuary farm, and have the intention in the song, wait, maybe all farms could be sanctuary farms someday. So I wrote the song, recorded it, put it on the record, and then I ended up collaborating with this fabulous videographer, Tony Segal from Silver Reaction Media. Some of you may know him. He does a lot of work in the vegan space. And he wanted to make a video for the song. We went to Charlie's Acres, which is a beautiful animal sanctuary in Northern California. And we filmed with the animals. We included them in our little band, you'll see. And he also had footage from many other animal sanctuaries in Northern and Central California. And he put it together all in a really fabulous video. And somehow this video went crazy viral. I think it has 14 million views or something, which hasn't happened for any of my other music. So there was something about it. And it may have even been that people were searching for the other song, right? The other Old MacDonald Had a Farm. But maybe they found this one, and maybe they listened, and maybe something changed in their heart. You never know. So again, it's one of the things that keeps me going, is letting go of attachment to outcome, but continuing to create and offer those creations to the world, so that there's a possibility of shifting the world through art. So I am going to, I believe, hang on a second. If I just share my screen, hang on a second. I just want to share the video and the sound. There we go. So this is the video for Old MacDonald Had a Sanctuary Farm, and I really hope you enjoy it.
Old MacDonald had a sanctuary farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm lived her animal friends, E-I-E-I-O. Oh, she saved one here, she rescued one there, protected and took care of them, made a safe haven. Old MacDonald had a sanctuary farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm there lived a cow, E-I-E-I-O, with a moo-moo here and a moo-moo there, here a moo, there a moo, everywhere a moo-moo. Old MacDonald had a sanctuary farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm there lived a pig, E-I-E-I-O, with an oink oink here and an oink oink there, here an oink, there an oink, everywhere an oink oink. Old MacDonald had a sanctuary farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm there lived a goat, E-I-E-I-O, with a meh here and a meh there, here a meh, there a meh, everywhere a meh. Old MacDonald had a sanctuary farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm there lived a chicken, E-I-E-I-O, with a cluck cluck here and a cluck cluck there, here a cluck, there a cluck, everywhere a cluck cluck. Old MacDonald had a sanctuary farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm there lived a sheep, E-I-E-I-O, with a baa here and a baa there, here a baa, there a baa, everywhere a baa. Old MacDonald had a sanctuary farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm there lived a turkey, E-I-E-I-O, with a gobble gobble here and a gobble gobble there, here a gobble, there a gobble, everywhere a gobble gobble. Old MacDonald had a sanctuary farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old Mac's farm is a magical place where the animals had plenty of air, light, and space. They are healthy and happy and safe and warm, and no one's going to eat them or cause them any harm. They're free to love each other and run and play just like people wanna. We're really the same. Hey, maybe all farms could be this way. Maybe all farms could be sanctuary farms someday. There's a happy duck going quack, quack, quack. There's a happy dog going bow, wow, wow. There's a happy horse going neigh. There's a happy cat going meow. There's a happy donkey going ee-haw, ee-haw. There's a happy rabbit going nibble, nibble, nibble. There's a happy rabbit going nibble, nibble, nibble. With a nibble, nibble here and a nibble, nibble there. Here a nibble, there a nibble, everywhere. Nibble, nibble, hee-haw here and a hee-haw there. Here a hee, there a haw, everywhere. Hee-haw, meow here and a neigh there. A bow wow here and a quack, quack there. And a gobble, gobble here and a baa there. And a cluck, cluck here and a meh there. And an oink, oink here and a moo, moo there. Here a moo, there a moo, everywhere a moo, moo. Old MacDonald had a sanctuary farm. E-I-E-I-O.
So again, that was a song from one of my albums. The video, which I think is brilliantly done, was by Tony Segal from Silver Reaction Media. So it was a really powerful and wonderful collaboration that we got to share and do that. And again, just using art to maybe change the world, and at the very least, bring joy into not only our own hearts, but those sanctuaries. We're really happy to be part of it, and the families that were part of it. So I hope while I'm talking, while I'm showing you these examples, that the wheels are turning in your own mind, your own heart. What could I do? How could I share my gifts? Whether you work with children, whether you have a group of friends that you go out to vegan restaurants with sometimes, wherever it is, how can you share your gifts in a way that bring you more joy to support your activism and to support your continued awakening on this path? So to that end, I'd love to show you another example. And this one is a video that was a very, very collaborative effort. Most of you probably know about the plant-based treaty. I know Anita's been on before, and the Animal Save movement and all the incredible work that those organizations do. So when I found out about the plant-based treaty, I just thought it was such a brilliant idea and such a positive and affirming and proactive way to communicate about the issues, and also to get cities, businesses, individuals to actually sign on, make an actual, handwritten, I sign my name commitment to start the shift toward plant-based. So I fell in love with plant-based treaty. And usually when that happens to me, a song comes. And I wrote this song for plant-based treaty and sent it to them. And I said, do you guys want this? Do you want to use this in your, marketing? Do you want to make a video? It's yours. Do what you want with it. And a team of their fabulous activists, Mariana and a bunch of different people, came together and made a video for the song that included chapters, plant-based treaty chapters from all around the world. And that in and of itself was such a heartening experience, because this can be an isolating path. Isolating, can feel alone. That's why events like this are so important, where we can come together and realize, oh, we're not the only ones thinking this way. And being able to do art and make art with other people also breaks through that isolation. So I wanted to share this video with you. And what I wanted to do with this song was, again, I wanted to inspire, but I also really wanted to educate people about what the plant-based treaty is, because as we know, music is powerful, right? We get lyrics and melodies stuck in our head. You know, we call it an earworm. And so there's so much music out there that is, you know, amazing, maybe music, but is it saying something that we definitely want to be remembering and setting intentions around? So why not write music that has these kinds of intentions for kindness, compassion, and, you know, my work with children, that's a big thing, because I'm thinking if they're singing these songs over and over again, they should be about good stuff. And in the plant-based treaty, I was trying to also just create a hooky song that people would learn about the plant-based treaty when they listen to it, and maybe it would get stuck in their head. Maybe they'd enjoy it enough to watch it a couple times, and then they'd remember, wait a minute, maybe I do want to go sign onto that plant-based treaty. So people have, as we know, we all have different doors, right? We all came to this climate awareness, to this veganism through different avenues and different doors. We never know what somebody's door is going to be. So again, all the more reason to be creative and put it out there, because you never know. So here is, I will share the plant-based treaty video with you all. Let's find it here. Oh, looks like it's under my, hang on a sec. There we go. Are you able to hear?
How do we address and mitigate the core causes of climate change? How do we build a fairer, healthier, greener world for all? Start by changing our food systems from problem to solution, restoring damage and generating health and security. We got a plant-based treaty. Won't you sign on the dotted line? We're gonna eat plants, we're gonna plant trees. It is time to realign. We need diet change, not climate change. It's time to rearrange our priorities and endorse the plant-based treaty. Demand number one, relinquish. Stop the problem from happening. No new land use change, ecosystem degradation, or deforestation for animal agriculture. Demand number two, redirect. Eliminate the driving forces behind the problem. Actively promote and transition to plant-based food and food systems. Demand number three, restore. Rewild and reforest the earth. Regenerate key ecosystems to heal the problem while mitigating climate change and building resilience. We got a plant-based treaty. Won't you sign on the dotted line? We're gonna eat plants, we're gonna plant trees. It is time to realign. We need diet change, not climate change. It's time to rearrange our priorities and endorse the plant-based treaty. We have the solutions in our grasp, available and ready. We just need to make it happen, and that's where you come in. Let's make a promise, a pledge of power, an agreement and alliance. We'll cooperate and collaborate. We'll come and right here, right now. We got a plant-based treaty. Won't you sign on the dotted line? We're gonna eat plants, we're gonna plant trees. It is time to realign. We need diet change, not climate change. It's time to rearrange our priorities. We got a plant-based treaty. Won't you sign on the dotted line? We're gonna eat plants, we're gonna plant trees. It is time to realign. We need diet change, not climate change. It's time to rearrange our priorities and endorse the plant-based treaty.
Yeah, so there's just another example of, getting inspired as someone who cares and using what I've got to create something, collaborating with other people. Didn't they make an awesome video out of that? It's so good. Thank you, Plant-Based Treaty team, for everything you did. We had so much fun working together. So education, using your voice, using your creativity. I mean, we don't have time for you not to. This is what I'm here to implore you. We need every tool in the toolbox right now, right? And I believe one of those tools is art and joy and celebration, and just things that make our hearts burst and bring us happiness and peace and all of that. So I'm hoping your wheels are turning, and I have a few more things to share with you, but then I do want to leave a little time at the end, or if anybody's, like, oh my God, had an inspiration, like you want to do this, you want to write a song, you want to write a poem. So if the wheels are turning, let them turn, get your journals out. What could you do? What could you do with your art that would help your own heart and share something with the world? So I think it'd be fun to do another song from my vegan album to, again, show you an example of, I think this is always a challenge as activists, to find that line between we want to be supportive, but there's an urgency, right? Like, we know, I love, if any of you know Pema Chodron, she always used to, one of her sayings is, you've got to meditate like your hair is on fire. And, I learned that 20 years ago when I started meditation practice, but it really spoke to me. It was like, yeah, this is urgent. Waking up is urgent. And so on the one hand, we have this urgency. And on the other hand, we have, this desire to not cause harm. That's the whole thing that we're working toward, whether it's for animals or the earth or the planet. I mean, if our activism and our voices and our methods involve hurting other people, we have to look at that too. So we're balancing all this nuanced stuff, right? So anything that can kind of help us get the word out, keep ourselves sane while we're doing it, and enjoy ourselves in the process, I think is really good. So to that end, I'm going to play you the song that kind of ended up being one of my favorite songs on the album. It's very silly. Again, the song is for kids, but I really try to make all my music for people, because we all have our inner kid that needs to make art and express themselves and get out there and be silly and be barefoot and whatever, sit under trees and play with rocks for hours, right? Like, that is part of what humanity needs to get back to. If we're going to do this, if we're going to save this thing, we've got to connect with that inner child and that inner, deep connection, interbeing, a sense of interbeing, before we lost that sense of interbeing. So yes, it's kids' music, but I really hope you'll just have your inner kid come into the room and enjoy this. And actually, I know, pretty sure you all love cookies. So maybe it's not too far of a reach. And you'll see how in the song I go from sort of, oh, how are cookies made? Let's, talk about the ingredients. Then we have this kind of crazy meltdown breakdown where there's kind of a bridge where I list off a whole bunch of different cookies and just getting everyone psyched. It's the sugar craze a little bit. And then in the last verse, I testify. I say, here's how I feel, and I'm telling you straight. I don't want to eat animals or anything they make. From the bounty of the gardens and the bushes and the trees, we can have everything we need, basically. So I put these lines into the songs where I am expressing to these children or grown-ups, whoever's listening, this is how I feel. This is my value. This matters so deeply to me that I made a song about it and I recorded it and I'm singing it with you. And I think that's powerful in and of itself too, right? If we can find ways to express these beautiful, gorgeous, loving intentions in ways that are, that people can receive, then we go a long way toward helping the shift that's already happening. We just help tip it a little further. So let's hear making cookies from plants. And again, please get up and dance if you need to move your body, because it's good for us. And we need to stay healthy. We need to stay healthy if we are going to save the world. All right, making cookies from plants. Here it comes.
You get the sugar from the cane or the coconut. You get the chocolate chips from the cacao bean. And the cashews from the little nut tree. You get the flour from the wheat or something gluten-free. You get the oil from the fat of those chubby veggies. Coconut, avocado, sunflower, pretty please. We're making cookies from plants. I do a little dance, we're making cookies from plants. Do a little cookie dance, we're making cookies from plants. Come on and take a little chance, we're making harmless, human, compassionate, deliciously insane cookies. We'll make a homemade egg from a little ground flax. And then the mama hen doesn't even have to feel sad. And make her own yummy milk from seeds, legumes, nuts, or grains. And then the mama cow can keep her milk for her baby. And then the cows and the chickens can get back to their lives while we bake cookies that will blow our minds. Making cookies from plants. I do a little dance, I'm making cookies from plants. Do a little cookie dance, I'm making cookies from plants. Come on and take a little chance, we're making harmless, human, compassionate, deliciously insane cookies. Do the cookie dance. Cookie, 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 cookie. Oatmeal raisin, chocolate chip, fortune sugar, peanut butter, chocolate dip, gingerbread sandwich, shortbread too, molasses, flippy thighs, snickerdoodle-doo, ginger snap, wafer, cooking like I guess, macaron, crinkle and strips. So little cookies, so little time when we make them from plants, we'll be feeling fine. How's that for a cookie rhyme? So here's how I feel, now I'm telling you straight. I don't want to eat animals or anything they make. So from the bounty of the gardens and the bushes and the trees, and the sun and the rain, soil, air, and seeds. Oh, we're growing up food for all the people to eat. Yeah, we're growing up fruits and veggies you see. We're growing up food for everybody. Making growing up plants for every cookie. Making cookies from plants. I do a little dance, we're making cookies from plants. Do a little cookie dance, we're making cookies from plants. Come on and take a little chance, we're making harmless, human, compassionate, deliciously insane cookies.
All right. Lost you guys for a second there. So that's just an example. This is what I do. This is my art. This is my way of expressing myself. I work with, mostly with children. The PlantBased treaty song was with my grown-up band, The Invisible Bee. But it really, really, really helps keep me sane and helps keep me in the game. So I just am curious if anybody has had any thoughts while we were here in this session about ways that you might, in a new way, create something, offer it to the world. And, people could either put that in the chat so we can inspire each other. I'm not sure what the restrictions are on the chat. Maybe we have just the co-hosts are able to chat. Am I right?
No, the people are able to chat to the co-hosts. We had some problem in the last week of 17. We had lots of problems with the chat being misused.
Yes.
So anyway.
I remember that. Yeah. So if people want to chat to the co-host, so I guess I would receive it and I could share it out, or if people want to raise their hand and share. And I also just want to say, if anybody out there, I'm just realizing this as I'm sitting here, like this collaborative energy, that whole album of songs doesn't have any videos yet. So if anybody loves making videos and wants to collaborate with me, let's make some awesome videos for these vegan songs that can be for kids or for anybody. Because as we know, a video really takes the music up to the next level. And a hard thing for artists is to get their work out there. And it's really, really a time where the world needs art, and the world needs this kind of poetry and music and everything. And while I'm waiting to see if there are any hands, I just want to read one thing, which is from Arthur O'Shaughnessy, the poem Ode. And it's actually a 9-stanza poem. You've all heard part of it. Maybe some of you know all of it. We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams, wandering by lone sea breakers and sitting by desolate streams, world losers and world forsakers, on whom the pale moon gleams. Yet we are the movers and shakers of the world forever, it seems. That gives me chills, and it makes me want to change the world. And that's a poem. I'm almost feeling teary right now. This is our time, people. This is our time. Let's make art. Let's do it all. Let's collaborate. Let's bring the joy, the love, and let's change the world together. We can only do it together.
Absolutely. Beautiful, Charity. Tammy?
Hi, beautiful Charity. Sorry, I think I have my phone on. Just so the host knows, I wasn't able to, it said my chat was disabled. So just so you know, it wasn't working for me. It might be working for other people.
Okay.
Thank you.
Rebecca will take a look at it, I'm sure.
Great. Thank you, Charity, for being such a beautiful inspiration. And later on today, I'm doing a presentation on grief mapping and how we can move through grief quicker with the felt sense of it, and then moving from that to compassion to creative action. And I'm feeling really inspired from your music and your energy. And I think it's so easy. I know I've hit many roadblocks in my life, like when I'm writing a book and it's like, the world doesn't need another book and I'm not really saying anything new and blah, blah. And I think that's that kind of like thing that can happen to many of us. We think that, getting out there and doing certain types of activism are more important than others, but we're absolutely right. If we could stay grounded in our creative joy and then work from there, we're so much more effective, and it's so valuable. And it's a certain type of self-love and self-care that must be cultivated, because if we get up in the morning and the first thing we do is turn on our computer, instead of honoring that we're this beautiful living organism in this gorgeous world, and then ask, how may I be of service today and how can I create? And then come from that place. It's just such a different energetics, So, as one of the million vegan grandmothers, it's been such an honor to get to know you in our community and in this community. And I'm sure you're honoring so many people in your tour and in your trip in Europe, with your music and your gifts and just your beautiful presence. It's really easy to tell you come from joy and love. So Thank you for reminding and really reinforcing that art is such a powerful, powerful tool, because I was abandoning the visual art I was doing, and now I feel reignited with that. So thank you very much.
Yay, Tammy. So good to connect. And I feel so lucky to have, yes, found you, this whole group. Another thing that keeps us going, right, is just our communities that care. And something you said is like resonating so hard for me. I mean, it is the same systems that are destroying the planet that want to tell us that art and creativity and playfulness and children and childlikeness are not important, and that we need to forsake everything for profit and productivity. Right. It's those same systems. So it can be an act too of joyful rebellion against that other energy, and of extracting ourselves from participating. Every time we get into that creative, playful, childlike space, we've extracted ourselves from participating into the systems that it's so hard to avoid participating in. So just a beautiful, this is the revolt. This is the rebellion.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's so many abilities in that place. I was just doing a little meditation with my partner, and I'll end here. I know other people want to share, and thank you for everything. But just how we sometimes back ourselves against the wall, and it's really hard to be our full creative selves when we do that. And just to let when you mentioned Pema Chodron, I love her, and sorry, I'm getting a little teary because I always do around you, because you're so open-hearted, and I feel like my heart can lie next to yours. But it's like she says, we always need to be letting ourselves off the hook. And we can't let other people off the hook if we don't let ourselves off the hook and say, okay, I'm going back into the center where this light beam is shining, and I'm pulling myself off that sticky wall, and I get to be my beautiful self just by an intention of stepping back into the center of my being. And that other stuff isn't real anyways. All the stuff I just took on, or the things I said that weren't of value, I can be creative in this center, and I can reset at any time, any moment of any day. And thank you. Yeah, thank you. Namaste, vegan.
Thank you, Charity. Thank you, Tammy. Dakota?
Hi, yeah, I just thank you so much, Charity. That was beautiful and amazing, and I just love the happiness. The songs are amazing, and I love the thing you shared with the drawing and at the restaurant, and it just made me think that's a great way to just, like, I don't know, take some doodle that just is like a great message like that, and just take the, I mean, I could do that all the time. I just never thought of something like that, and it's like good for me, to do it, is because it makes me happy just looking at the one you shared. And so what a great idea, and just thank you for everything today. My wheels are still turning, but that's going to be a fun way for me to do stuff, start drawing. Thank you.
Yay. I feel a lot of really positive, psyched energy coming from you, Dakota, around that you made me smile a lot there. Yay. I mean, this is like this is what it is right here. Keep this joy going, and share your drawings. We want to see them. Right. Tell us how to find them. I just want to share also that someone shared, I see, I'm getting direct messages. Okay. So someone wanted to share that this person is inspired to create comedy or satire as a great way to playfully get the message across. By being kind but lighthearted, shows the world how cool it is being a vegan. It's so much more than gloom, and can be a truly joyful experience. So that was another person's inspiration. I'm seeing if anybody else wrote something they want me to share. Thank you, everybody who's giving me such nice feedback. Thank you. And that's really sweet. Oh, I wanted to also just say, somebody's asking, how many instruments do I play? How long does it take to make one song? Script to screen, lyrics and composition. I mean, anywhere from, the song comes out all at once in 3 minutes to there's a song on this last album the last the last song that, went through many changes and was sort of being created over a period of 10 years. So it just depends. And, some songs are
Right.
simple with a very little bit of instrumentation. Some are, the whole band, and we spent hours in the studio. But to me, it's like, this is my art form, so I spend that extra time. But what I'd love for people to take away is that it doesn't have to take, you don't have to be like, oh, I have to quit my job and become a professional musician. It's just like, make it, enjoy it, make it, and share it. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So other hands, yeah.
Amit.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I went to our library in Scotland, where every Thursday they have a session for little children. They all come in prams and buggies and all. They hold the fingers of their parents and sit around in a circle where the librarian sings songs for them. And they sing the traditional song. Old MacDonald's has a farm and all the animals. And then I was so disturbed every Thursday. I used to listen to them. And then in the last one, I heard your song, your version of the song. And next day, I went to them. I approached them, and I told them, okay, let's listen to this song. I wrote the song to them on paper, and it was taking a long time for me. My hands were also shaking because it was so why don't you play it to us? I played it to them, and they said, this is a lovely song. I mean, we also agree that we shouldn't teach little children, like 6 months babies to 2.5 years, I think is what they taken. And they said, yeah, this is a great initiative. We would like to take this forward. So it's such a catchy tune that you made. Your voice is, I'm deeply in love with your voice. It's amazing. My daughters love your songs as well. So they also started to play in the house parties and all. And they also do the silly dance. I didn't know about the cookie song, but now we'll play that one as well. Thank you for making these
Yeah.
songs.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for making my day with that. And please tell your daughters hi for me.
Absolutely.
And
They're
yeah,
out at
check
the
out the
park.
whole,
I wanted to see
yeah.
them to see you live on this call. They see you in the videos, but yeah, you like this.
Yeah. Maybe we could do, because I perform for children all the time, maybe through Climate Healers one time we could do a little Zoom family gathering where we do music over the Zoom for all the people with young children.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brilliant idea. Yeah.
Reach out anytime. We're all friends. Let's find each other. And thank you so much for telling me all that.
Thank you, Amit. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
And it's amazing how one simple action, like going to a librarian and saying, hey, why don't we play this song? And it changes people's minds.
Yeah.
Sai, Praneeth?
Hi. Just wanted to say thank you to you. Like I resonated with all the points you said. Like it was just spot on. Everything, all the insights and thoughts you mentioned, like how art can help this movement. So thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm so
And
glad.
also
And
thanks for sharing those doodles. Like actually, I develop games. So that made me think like, why can't we make a game around those art like doodles which you shared? So thanks for sharing those.
yeah, go for it. Weren't they cute? They were just so adorable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Thank you, Sai.
Deepak? Are you able to unmute yet?
While we're waiting for that, I just want to let everybody know I did put the link to my website in the chat. I put the link to the vegan album on Spotify. You can also just find it if you search. I'll put this to artist. My kid's artist name is Charity, and the jam band. Yeah. So there you go.
Here you go, Deepak. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Hey, Charity, it's like a beautiful name. First, Charity itself just says it all.
Aw. I'll tell my mom and dad that you said so.
Yeah, and then
I guess I had to do this work. Say again?
You were destined, yeah. You were destined to do this work, I guess.
I guess so.
And I love all of the songs.
Great. Well, it would really help the movement if you guys put that album on your Spotify and you follow the
Am I
artist,
audible?
follow Charity and the Jam Band, and then people listen to it, and then it gets in the algorithm, and then it gets out there, and then maybe the music can make people go vegan and find VCOP, and yeah.
Yeah. Reach people through the heart, right? So far, we've been focusing on the mind too much. The heart is much, much faster. Thank you, Charity.
Thank you
for
so
your
much,
work.
everybody, for your attention and for your compassion. And let's do this.
Let's do this.